Hello YouTube, I hope that you and your loved ones are well, all things considered in these very strange times. I hope that you are well. It has been 9 months now since I've had my Sisterlocks, so if you are new to my channel, thank you very much. I hope this is of interest to you, and if you are a return subscriber, thank you so much for your continued interest and support. So it has been a journey, and I have not been here for some time because I've had a lot going on in my personal life. All very positive stuff. So I left the job that I'm in because of COVID. It had a really challenging impact on the business. And so timing and everything was right. I was actually very happy to move on, and I moved on not knowing where I was going or what I was doing, and during that process found an amazing job, an amazing organisation with fantastic people. So I'm really pleased about that. And then my son has gone off to university, so we were busy dealing with all of that. He's moved out, he's moved away, and he is having the time of his life, even with this very strange virus going around. It's affected the way things are being done, as I'm sure it has in many countries, but he's having a great time, and we're really happy for him. So we were doing all of that transition. And then my daughter went back to school. So here in the UK, schools were on a very skeleton kind of service and closed down actually in some cases because of the virus. So my daughter had several months out working. She thinks she was working, studying from home while I was working from home, and my husband was teaching from home. And as in our daughter, and thankfully she went back to school at the beginning of September, and we love that. The routine, the socializing with friends, the classroom, all of the things that, she's only 5, she's going to be 6 soon, all of the things that young people really kind of relish and enjoy, because thankfully my daughter loves school. So for us it was fantastic to get her back into a routine, back amongst her young friends, and to get some routine back in our lives. But that has meant I've been out. And you know what? It just so coincided with a period where I was not loving my Sisterlocks. I really was not loving my Sisterlocks. And I'll tell you what I wasn't loving. I don't know if you can tell that they've grown quite some, but they're a little bit shrunk, because I washed my locks yesterday, as I had my retie yesterday. I wasn't in love because I started to discover some bunching in my locks. So you'll remember that I took my first set down because they were hideous. Oh, there's a wonderful example. And they were hideous for many reasons. I mean, the bunching, it seems, occurs in my hair because of the type of hair I've got, and also because it's quite slippery. And also because I wash it quite frequently, so typically 3 or 4 times between a retie, and my reties are every 4 weeks. They've been moved to 5 weeks now. But also, so the washing, the texture of my hair in some parts, my consultant has gone through and fixed a load. But they just, every time I'm in the week before a retie, I think to myself, oh, these locks are so awful. Oh. And then I have a retie and I'm like, oh, I'm back together again. So I think I've noticed a bit of a pattern, but I have to say I was on a bit of a downer, because what I was noticing was that the bunching, and it was looking much worse than this actually, but the bunching is where, well, those fat bits you can see where the hair looks like it's pulled, well, it's pulled back on itself, and it makes your locks clunky in parts. The bunching that I had last time, it was in the same places. That's what I'm finding really interesting. So obviously we've got different textures in our hair, you know, it's not all the same. And what I'm noticing is that the bunching is kind of in that quadrant of my head, just kind of around the crown, but on either side. And that's kind of where it was last time. I've got a little bit at the back this time, which I didn't have before. So all of that, along with needing a retie, was really frustrating. But I went along to my consultant yesterday, and she retied and she repaired, and she's going to keep on repairing. Another reason this has happened, not just the hair texture, not just the washing frequency, but also the fact that during lockdown here in the UK, I was maintaining my hair. And that's when things were not going well, because as well as the retie, I certainly need someone to help me while my locks settle down. So that happened, and it's been a work in progress ever since then. But I'm back on track, and I'm 9 months in. 9 months, what does it look like for me? I've stopped washing as frequently. I get to work from home, and the beauty of that for me is that I do not wash my hair as frequently. I leave it, and I'm not worried about the flakes and all the rest of it because I'm at home. Video conferences, nobody's seeing that. I just had to give myself and my scalp some peace. I just had to. So instead of washing 3 to 4 times, I was literally washing once after my retightening, about 10 days after a retie, and then on the day before or the day of my retie. And that's what I was doing. My scalp, I've started drinking more water. I'm eating a lot more veg, fish, grilled, not fried, all of that. And I still wasn't noticing good enough results in terms of my scalp. Still using medicated shampoo. I also shared with you guys a tonic that I got from my doctor, a medicated tonic. I kind of stopped using that because it was drying out my locks, drying out my scalp really. And you can see here how fuzzy my hair is because I had my retie. I had my retie yesterday, so you can see my scalp, but you can also see that I've got that kind of fuzzy hair. So I kind of stopped using that tonic for a little bit. But I've started again now in certain sections where it was really itchy. I was also experiencing build-up, and so was my daughter's locks, and that was driving me mad. My daughters are actually worse than mine. So I've stopped using the rose water. Not that I'm saying rose water causes build-up, but I found that it was making my daughter's locks quite crunchy, and her scalp was dry, and my daughter doesn't suffer from dry scalp, so it was all a bit weird, even though I was mixing it with vitamin E. So I've moved my daughter onto that aloe juice that I use, mixed with some essential oils and a little bit of vitamin E oil and normal water. And that's what I've been using on my daughter's scalp and in her locks as and when. And that's what I've been using on me as well, as and when. I don't need it very frequently at all. But yeah, we were both experiencing build-up, which was, for me, I could tell that it was biological, as in it was the flakes and stuff, because it was where I had patches, typically at the front of my scalp. And in the front of, in those locks, I was seeing some build-up. Even though I was washing my hair on a like weekly basis, I was still seeing build-up, which frustrated me to heck. And with my daughter, I don't wash my daughter's hair as frequently as I wash mine. I wash my daughter's probably every 2 to 3 weeks, but she had build-up absolutely everywhere, and it was driving me crazy. So 9 months this time compared to last time, similar. My locks feel thicker at the base and kind of all the way around. I can feel that they are much thicker. They're still not locked. They're still not settled. What was the other thing I was going to say? I'm 40 today. I keep forgetting that, and I'm seeing birthday messages coming in. What's the other thing that I would say about them? So they're thicker. They're certainly fluffier this time round. They're very curly. My husband's always commenting on that. This time, as opposed to last time, it's definitely because I had relaxed ends last time. So this is the difference between me doing it with completely natural hair versus with relaxed ends, and I much prefer it this way. So does everyone else. And obviously I've just been with one consultant who is fantastic, and so she has made sure that my locks are maintained and on top, and she knows my head and she knows what I need, instead of bouncing around to 5 different consultants like I did last time. The other thing I've mentioned as well on my videos is that I've got my hair out for the purposes of showing you guys, but ordinarily it's plaited. I plait it, I braid it, cornrow, cane row, plait it back. And I prefer it like that. I like it out the way. But that kind of keeps it trained, keeps it stretched. Not that I care much about that, but it keeps it out the way and it's nice and easy. So that's what I'll be doing as soon as I've finished talking to you guys. And that's it. That's my update. I hope that you are well. Feel free to drop any comments, questions. Nothing really remarkable to share. I went for a little bit of a lull hair-wise. Annoyed with it, but nothing significant. That's the beauty of locks. You can just carry on. And you know that ultimately it's in a protective style, so it'll bounce itself back. But yeah, not much more to add really. Take care.